Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now I am going to write an equation for the value of y that represents graph number 2. I'm going to start out by plotting the coordinates for each of the points. So if we look at point A, we're not actually, if we look at point A and we look at the x-axis, we never leave 0. So for point A, along the x-axis, the number is going to be 0. Now looking at the y-axis, 1, 2, 3. So the number along the y-axis is 3. So those are the coordinates for point A. Zero and 3. All right, now I'm going to plot the coordinates for point B. So looking at point B, looking at the x-axis, 0, 1. So point B is located on the number 1 going across for the x-axis. Now looking at the y-axis, count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So point B is on 4 for the y-axis. So we have 1 and 4. Now moving on to point C, 0, 1, 2. So for point C, the value of x is 2, and then for point C, the value of y, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, now we have all the coordinates for this graph. Alright, so now for this graph, I'm going to write an equation representing the value of y. Now if you notice on this graph, of the line plot, we get all the way up to 3 on the y-axis before the line plot ever leaves the x-axis. If you look at point A, the x-axis remains at 0 as the y-axis continues going up. 1, 2, 3. So for point A, there's a 3 on the y-axis and x-axis remains at 0. Whenever we have a situation where the coordinate is 0 for the x-axis, there's going to be a number with no variable in it in the equation. So right now we're going to have y equals 3 because the line went up 3 points before x moved off the graph. Now looking at the slope of the line for the remaining points, when we go from point A to point B, y increases by 1, x increases by 1. So x goes from 0 to 1, y goes from 3 to 4. Then when we go to point C, y increases by 1 again, and x increases by 1. So y goes from 4 to 5, and then x goes from 1 to 2.